The market is always open for the students, and there will be opportunities lying ahead of you every time. It might be a bit difficult or it might be easy. That is the only difference, and it depends on your preparedness. I'm actually from Kerala, and I did my graduation also from Kerala itself. So I never got an opportunity to stay in hostels, and this was something which I was really looking forward to. And I thought that, coming to IMT Ghaziabad, which is like the extreme end, and it's in north. So I thought that the travel and staying here would be a completely different experience for me. So when that was not happening, I was I was obviously disappointed. But I knew that at some point, there would be an opportunity for us to come to campus and experience the whole life, and it actually happened. So first year also I was able to come, and the second year also the college did make efforts to bring us back to campus, because they also wanted us to have that experience. So they made sure that they had all the facilities and all the COVID protocols, everything was followed up to the T, so that the students can come and have a safe environment.
The last 1.5 years have been very unusual, to be saying, because in my career I have seen, including this, 3 recessions, but nothing like this ever. The whole market was closed down. There was so much of uncertainty that it was very difficult to fathom what is going to happen next week. It was that uncertain.
Unlike the previous batch, we started with the first wave. So when we joined, the first wave was going on. The second wave, we faced the second wave. So from the beginning, we had online classes. So what we had expected when we actually decided to take MBA was completely different from what we actually faced. So initially, everyone had difficulties whether they want to go forward. Everyone had doubts in their mind. But I decided to go forward because strategically, when I thought about it, once I'm planning for my final placements, I was pretty sure that the market would open up and it would be the right time for me to get placed as well.
For us as teachers, there was a transition that you have to move very fast from a offline to an online mode. That was also there. And for the students also, it was again from a physical learning to a online learning. And apart from that, there was also a very big impact on what is going to happen, because when just before the summer placements had concluded, the final placements had concluded, and all of a sudden the lockdown happened. So the companies also were grappling what is going to happen. How are we going to honor the summer internship which was going to be there, which were all physical internships?
So I interned with Gartner, and I was a B2B sales manager there, and as an intern, and also a key account manager. So we were 3 interns in the company. And before starting of the internship itself, like once we had completed our 3rd term, and during the period just before starting the internship itself, our college had made sure that all the students had each a faculty mentor assigned. So throughout the period of the internship for 2 months, I was in constant contact with my faculty mentor, who also made sure that he reached out to me at every week, and made sure that if I am facing any difficulties, he's there to help me out. Being in an online environment and trying to learn about a company in 2 months is really difficult. But because of the support of my faculty mentor, and of course the mentor who I had assigned from Gartner, it made sure that I was adapted to the company within like 1 week of my internship, and the experience also was really great just because of this.
Apart from that, the final placement, a couple of organizations were unable to honor their commitments, especially the retail sector, the travel, tourism, etc. So those were organization had to revoke the offer. So then it was also that we had to hunt for opportunities for them, but there was none available because there was so much uncertainty. And this all affected the joining of the 2022 batch. They joined as late as December, and some joined this year also.
So during my final placements, of course I had some anxiety, because it's our final placement, it's the start of our career. But I was not very afraid or fearful of what or the companies, and whether the type of companies which I'm looking for will come or not. Because through the past years, I have seen the type of companies which has come to IMT, and I was looking into a sales and marketing profile, and that is one of the main reasons which I came to IMT as well. So I knew that there would be a good level of options for me, and I had my preparedness also aligned to that. the learnings, I would believe that, online, we have faced the difficulties, we have gone through that phase. So now I think whatever obstacles we have in future as well, I think the batch is ready to face those things, because we know that at the end of the road there is something great waiting to happen for us, and to overcome that obstacle is something I think that all of us would have learned through this journey of 2 years.
Having adapted to technology, that increased our reach also. When in case of a offline kind of an interaction on meeting, I think I could have met visiting Bangalore or Bombay, etc. In a day I would have met say 5 corporates, but in a virtual environment I could spend the whole day on an online meet. And I think the organizations also were very now open to having a team meeting and having a Zoom meeting as compared to, again, maybe physically coming and meeting them. So reach also increased, and reach across the globe increased. So when we are interacting with organizations, if there is an alumni or a corporate who's based out of, say, US or a UK or a Dubai, earlier we used to wait for their trip to India, etc. Now in the last 1.5 years, I think we would have organized sessions by people who have been in Singapore, US. So interaction also has increased.
I got placed in PhonePe and I'll be starting my career with PhonePe as an MT. My preparation for final placement started 1 month prior to the final placement week. So we had it happen in 3 phases. First of all, our institution had assigned us faculty mentors, and there were a lot of brush-up sessions for the important concepts. Second, we had alumni interviews, mock interviews planned, and through the interviews I got to know about the important HR questions and the kind of situational questions that you might get. And third is, of course, our self-preparation. And after the 3 phases of preparation, I was pretty confident about starting for the final placements. And PhonePe was one of the first companies which came on campus, and we had an online interview. So there were 3 rounds. First was a GD round, followed by an interview which is both technical and HR, and the third round was actually the round where the HR actually told me that I've been offered. So my experience as a whole was really great, because everything happened online, and throughout the 2 years or 1.5 years we've been having online classes, online sessions. So this has actually really prepped me to pump up my personality to make sure that I appear really good in the online medium as well.
This year we have again achieved a 25% growth as far as average salary is concerned. So average salary stands at 15.25, and I would say that we did it in a span of 17 days. All 500 plus of our students got placed.
2 things which I believe that the pandemic has taught me. One is to adapt in any environment that you're put in. While in the past 2 years, we were suddenly put in an online environment, suddenly it was changed to hybrid, and now it's going to be offline. So things happened quickly and it changed very quickly. Secondly, I think it is the importance of teamwork and to check in on everyone at every point of time. Since we are working in an online environment, people were not very interactive in the beginning, and some people were there who were reluctant to come out. It's very different working in an online and offline environment. Our personality is different. So it is necessary that as a manager especially, you'll have to keep a check on everyone individually to make sure that everyone is on the same page.
The last 1.5 years when the corporates had not hired, I think they have this year their numbers look higher. So they are very positive as far as numbers are concerned. A lot of again back end or the hiring which did not happen, I think those companies have come forward and are hiring this year. There are a lot of organizations which would say have also revised their compensation. They can meeting the standards also. So the expectations of the students have also gone up, especially the tech, the BFSI and the consulting are doing pretty well this year.
So when I decided to take MBA, and as I mentioned already, it was a strategic decision, and I knew that the market would open up. So to all the students who are actually planning right now to, and in a decision phase whether they have to go forward or not to, I would say that you have to think about it very deeply and understand that the market is always open for the students, and there will be opportunities lying ahead of you every time. It might be a bit difficult or it might be easy. That is the only difference, and depends on your preparedness. So from the minute you step into an MBA school, you should be ready and you should start preparing for that final placements, and I think that is very important. And choose your college also accordingly, a college which would support you at every point of time, and from day one will be there at your back for your summers and finals, and I think that is very important.